So yeah, and I'm gonna stand on this. Particularly for women, your time to find a mate is in college, because there's, again, at no other point in your life are you gonna have that many men around you that are gonna be quote unquote suitable, or that are at least going somewhere. Because once you start working, a lot of dudes are not gonna be checking for you because they doing their own thing or they already married. And it highlights the fact that when you see most black women who have advanced degrees, a lot of them just tend to be fat.
And like I told you before, like the smart ones were like that. Like the ones I knew when I was in college, when we hit senior year, that's when they was like, you know, I'm looking for, you know, long-term relationships, stuff like that. And some of them were even more blunt. They was like, you know, by the time they graduate college within a year, so they want to be married. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I'm not trying to do that, but you know, that's a good idea. So at least there was some smart ones like that, and you know, quite a few of them, you know, are married now. So,
and that's true. But and even when you look at,
and I don't you know, taking away from them from having their little freak out phase during their freshman year. I think that's kind of natural. Like they go through their little fresh meat phase. What I hated was how the upper class girls would instead of telling the freshman girls, hey, stop doing that, they would try to shame the guys, like, why y'all going over them freshman girls? Y'all
because
just
nobody wants y'all, because y'all probably big.
Y'all just going over y'all just want the easy pickings. It was like, no, because one, these girls come into, you know, freshmen don't have baggage. Two, like, you know, they just looking to have fun. Most of the guys, you know, 21, 22, trying to have fun. They're not trying to get married at 21 and 22. They're trying to start their career out. So it's a natural mesh. And plus, it's kind of natural that guys go for women that are slightly younger than them. Most don't want girls exactly that age by the time you're entering like the workforce. So
that's true.
But yeah, they would try to shame other seniors, like, oh, you guys just a bunch of pedos and all this sort of stuff going for these freshman girls. Like, yeah, okay.
But staying on topic, and those to be the ones once they hit like maybe grad school, they just big.
And so I remember I talked about that too. So once I started grad school and I was in our Black Graduate Student Association, I was saying it was like a difference in priorities. Like the guys were there, at least I know I was, and my friend was. We were there to network with other Black grad students, where a lot of the girls, I mean, they were doing the same as well, but a lot of them made it explicitly known that they wanted to find.
They were looking for a mate.
They were looking for mates, and because they was like, well, by the time we hit Black, you know, graduate school, it's like it's not a lot of us anymore, so we all stick together, and you know, we trying to find, you know, men that's on the same level, like.
And okay. And that's where you messed up. That's where they messed up. This whole I'm trying to find a man on my level thing. Look, you were supposed to do that in your undergrad. Like, and don't get me wrong.
And then and so then the shaming again starts, because just like how upperclassmen girls would shame upperclassmen guys for going for like freshmen and sophomores, now the Black female grads would shame Black male grads for going after undergrads. Like, so we're just screwed.
For losing.
Right. So
and like I said, usually you see up, you know, the higher up the education, typically the weight goes follows right along.
And that's why I was just asking you off camera, like, why? I was like, I've noticed that all the educated Black women seem to be out of shape.
So I'm
not all, but
most.
But a lot.
We can say most, because most Black women are either borderline or obese or over obesity, and if you know, once you factor in education, it's fair to say that most Black women who have advanced degrees or PhDs are overweight, if most of the Black female population is overweight or obese.
And like I give fitness advice to people online all the time. I'm like, you probably spend a few hours scrolling your timeline and posting and sharing every day. If you took like 20 minutes of that each day just to work out, you would be fit. And I was literally talking to someone today who I hired for my remote call center, and she wants to lose weight and stuff. And I was like, cool. So we're gonna kind of make a deal where I'm gonna give her some free fitness, and she's gonna help me expand my social media with the channel and stuff.
That's what's up.
And you know, so she was talking about, oh, I don't have time. I said, look at it this way. I was like, you can watch some TikTok videos, or you can turn on to YouTube, watch Just A Contrarian, and you can watch a video or two on YouTube and exercise, and you'll be done just like that, because you're not concentrating on the exercise. You're just, you know, watching content and
moving.
Yeah, and moving your body as you do it. And you're already done for the day. You've worked out for like 15, 20 minutes, and you know. But I was like, most people don't think like that, so.
I'm not going to name names, but it was, I'm going to say rumored, because I can't confirm it. But it was rumored, quote unquote, that a certain female politician lost because she didn't appeal to a demographic, because a certain a demographic of married middle class white women.
Which she actually seems pretty cool.
No. And her politics were good. The problem was again, as we talked about in the previous video, as
perception.
Appearance. Right.
Perception is everything in politics. So.
Exactly. So you have a middle-aged, overweight black woman who's single. You're not going to appeal to the perception of middle-class white women, even though your politics is spot on with theirs, your education is spot on, everything else is spot on, but you don't have the public appearance that will entice them, because you're one, it's already bad enough that you're black. That's a strike against you.
At least she wasn't twerking.
That too. She wasn't twerking. And I actually like this particular politician. Like I said, the only thing was she was overweight and single. And it's rumored that her campaign team told her, look.
And even male politicians being single is a detriment as well. Because in the corporate world and the political world, being married is a status, is a sign of status. So exactly.
So my point again, and you're overweight. Mm-hmm. So that plays a part into, all of that. And most people say, well, that's not fair. You talking about her weight. What about men who are overweight? It plays a part with them as well. Like, I don't make the rules. I just live here. And I just play the game.
For the most part, politicians have to be somewhat attractive. So, I mean, you don't see too many hideous-looking politicians. Except when they get older.
Yeah.
Mitch McConnell,
look like a turtle.
Out of his shell.
Or, I was about to say,
I'm gonna take these rights away. But I'm for the Second Amendment.
Oh, you better than me. I was gonna say he looked like an uncircumcised penis.
Yeah.
But that's my point, though. That's my point, though. It's all about appearance. Even if your politics are good, actually you can have horrendous ideas, but if you have a certain appearance, people are gonna go for it.
Like. Representative, what's her name? Bobert, the dropout who got her GED once she got into office, but because she's attractive and right winged,
that overrides everything.
Yeah, people didn't care. She was literally an idiot. Like she was just
a blonde bimbo.
She wasn't even a blonde bimbo. She was just a bimbo.
Oh. And
like because she was for guns and Trump, like. Yeah, America.
She had big titties.
I don't know, but she's attractive for her age. I'll say that.
That's good enough.
So she's
not that I care, but I'm just saying she would have been the whole.
She's an attractive white woman. She's a gun nut.
And she likes Trump.
And she likes Trump.
I was about to say
she's gonna be a winner.
She's gonna hit the square. She had big titties and blonde hair. You would have the perfect. She's blonde. She got big titties. She's for Trump and she likes guns. That's like every redneck's. That's every redneck's dream, girl.
Well, that's Marjorie Green Taylor, but she's ugly as fuck. And once I saw her doing what's that sport? Did people look like they're mentally challenged when they doing it?
The one where white people ride the fake horse.
No, the like like when they're doing like all the strength training real fast, like when they doing push-ups, but look like they're CrossFit. CrossFit is like I think I can't say the R word on YouTube. They're retarded looking when they're doing CrossFit. Like most CrossFit people look stupid as shit, and I saw her doing that. I was like, yeah, that fits, because she's dumb as fuck.
But like I said, it's
and the fact that she's still in the office is one of the reasons why I just don't care about politics. Because we know she supported those people during the insurrection, and anyway, I'm not going to get into it.
But getting back on topic, yeah, it's just a trend. Like, you know, when these women get older and they just let themselves go.
Like there was a woman that O'Shea Duke Jackson talked about in one of his videos. This chick is literally 51 years old, making demands of men that she wants. The men need to be making a bag like her, and also stuff. I'm like,
ma'am, you're 51.
Like,
actually, no, I'm gonna say this, and this is the problem. You have women who are past middle age. The average lifespan is about like 80 something.
That's what I'm saying. She's over a century. She's over half a century years old. By this point, you need to be putting that PUSSY on clearance. Like it need to be red tagged.
Man, you might as well get that shit for free, bro.
Put on the clearance rack, and just, hey, if someone picks it up, great. If not, put it in the giveaway box. And
let it be.
Like 51, and you making demands on the type of men you want. Like you're 30 years past that.
It is funny because even men in their 50s.
Black women are delusional.
Man, look, men in their 50s are smashing 30, 20.
And even the guys her age don't want people their age. He'll be a man. He'll be in his 70s. He still want like a 35-year-old. So
shit, when I'm 70, I'm gonna look good. When I'm 70, I'm still gonna be smashing 35-year-olds.
Hey,
fuck, I'm gonna look like. Why I want a 50-year-old? I ain't trying to be like Steve Harvey.
Pop one of these blue chews.
Not even that. Just his wife is not ugly, but she done smashed the whole family.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna get into that though. But yeah, you done smashed the whole family.
You talking about Lori Harvey's mother?
Yeah. Your first husband was a drug dealer. He got locked up. You married the cousin. He got locked up. Why? And after the second time,
so she was dating Nino Brown and G Money.
Basically. The second time, I would look at her sideways like, why every time you get married they getting locked up? Granted, they drug dealers. I get it, but why every time you come around they getting locked up? They get locked up.
I don't know. Well, I don't know. I ain't gonna say anything about Steve.
No, Steve a cuck.
Oh yeah, he definitely is.
I'm gonna call Steve. Be telling women bad advice.
But I mean, I don't know. If I was to do this over, maybe I would just give a bunch of simp advice and make a lot of money on YouTube and where else. But I see it's moving. The trend is moving. The winds are blowing in the opposite direction. Slowly. Like, I'll say this. Black women did win the gender war, but it was a Pyrrhic victory. I think I said that on another video, but because some people in the black manosphere split on that, I'll say, yeah, they did win the war, but it was a Pyrrhic victory because they lost so much to win it. And the black manosphere is just a trend heading the other direction, saying, okay, you got it. We'll just go our own way. So, and
now black women like, where are we gonna go? Like, nobody's dating, nobody's married.
Like, for all the so-called divestors and all that, most non-black women don't want to date black women, so they can say we'll date white men or blah blah blah. There's a few that will date black women. There's a few Asian guys that will date black women, but they are not the majority. The most of them aren't
stay within their group.
Most of them aren't swiping right on them. They're swiping left
and staying within their group. Like, most black men tend to stay within the group.
Most people stay within their group. And if you look at the social media, the social dating apps, we know who's being picked the most. Like, Asian women are picked the most on the dating apps, and white men and black men are picked the most on dating apps. Black women and Asian men are at the bottom of those dating app pools. So, not saying that neither group is attractive, but that's just
nobody wants that.
That's what people pick
because of stereotypes, i.e., twerking when you're running for office.
Right. Or with the other video where it's a woman teaching these Indian or South Asian women dancing and stuff. And so I guess they were first showing her like their traditional dances, And then she was like, well, let me show you this. And she starts twerking. And the Indian lady literally says, I cannot do that. She's like, oh, you can't do that? And it's like, you look like a complete ass. Like, you're the only one dressed in a way that looks provocative with your ass out. The dumb, long, red, fake weave hair. And twerking. Everyone else is dancing respectably. Like, I was just like
I said, and damn, we did go off top about why black women tend to be fat when they.
And to that point, she was fat though too. Well, not fat, but she was overweight. So
I don't know. I just think once you.
I brought that up with Marie at the Glam Lux channel that I did the interview with, because I told her also that a lot of black women tend to be overweight when she was talking about how sexy they look. I'm like, yeah, but that's all they got. And I said a lot of them don't even have that because a lot of them are overweight. So,
I don't know.
And it just seems a trend amongst at least a lot of the ratchets and hood boogers tend to actually, up to a certain age, still look kind of shapely, but the educated ones around the same age are all like worn out already.
Because we live in a society, well, we were trying to get to the society where where women think, well, if I have an education, that overrides my looks. Like they want men to pick them the way they pick us. Like, we don't care about your education.
Yeah, and they usually use that, be like, well, the guys gotta be on my level because I have a master's, and I make
$50,000 a year.
Well, let's give them the benefit of that. I make like
$50,000 a year. That's on the high end.
That's the average. I'm just saying ones.
That's not the average. The average black woman makes like 36.
I know, but I'm talking about like the overachievers. So someone who has like a master's degree and is making like 100,000 or so a year, relative to the city they live in. So because they are in that income level, they expect the guys to be on that income level,
which is fine. Cool.
Which is fine, but then they're not attractive. They don't realize their main selling point is
their looks.
is their beauty. Ours is our
money.
Exactly.
And the reality is, once you want to be equal, quote unquote, and be the breadwinner, you're gonna have to. That requires you to date down. Like, all men have had to date down. When we like, do you like? Look, I'm close to making 100,000. I'm about to. I would love to date a woman who's gonna make 100,000 and pay half and pay her way. It's not gonna happen, but it would be nice. And so what I typically have to do? I have to date down, because most women don't make what I make.
Well, most men are used to having to date down.
But that's my point. Like, most women, when they get these shots, like, why there's no men up here like I am? Because most people are average income or middle class people, and two, you want to be with the bit dogs. Bit dogs got to date down, and bit dogs got to take care of everybody. I want a man to take care of me. Then what are you? For what? You didn't put yourself in a position of wanting to be taken care of. You wanted to be a breadwinner.
Because they were all taught. They all taught by my mama.
Have your own money. Which
have
is
your own
fine.
money.
I'm not knocking it.
Get a degree and get a career, so you don't have to rely on any man. Okay.
Now you don't have to rely on a man.
Well, you did it. You set out to do exactly that. So
don't ask somebody to take care of you.
Shouldn't be sour grapes now. I mean,
but the reason just going back to our original point, the reason why they tend to be fat is because they have no life. Like you literally have no life.
I just don't understand.
You just eat.
Because I just don't
go to work. You eat and go to work. You eat and go to work.
Because I just don't understand why pursuing education doesn't mean you don't have like 15 minutes a day to work out.
Because most people are lazy. And that's not just black women. That's just Americans in general.
That is Americans in general. That's definitely true. But it's just black women there's a disproportionate amount of them that are overweight.
And they have this cognitive dissonance about being fat. There is a cognitive dissonance that...
Some of them don't believe they're fat.
No, they're bit boned, or I'm healthy.
Bones don't get bigger. Don't get bigger.
But like I said, man, at the end of the day,
And then the women who are of like the appropriate size and shape for their age, they call them that skinny bitch. Like, no, she's fit. She's not skinny. You're fat.
And it's crazy
because I hate when they always say, look at that skinny bitch. No, she's the size she's supposed to be for that height.
You're just fat.
You're just fat.
And it's crazy because, so again, a friend of mine, you know, she was pretty heavy for her size, and she's short. She's barely 5 feet. You know, she's a white lady too. However, she has a physique that most black men would go for. I'll leave that up to you. I'll let you interpret that how you will. But she has a physique that black men typically go for. And she started losing weight. And me and her were talking. She's like, you know, I can't date somebody who's not into working out because you're not going to bother me while I'm in the gym for 2 or 3 hours. So I'm like, you're right. And we were talking about dating and all that. And I told her, like, most of my dating prospects within the black community are shot. And she was like, wow, like, most got kids and most are fat. That eliminates a huge proportion of black women. She's like, well, there's other ways you can say you don't date, like, you don't date fat people. You could just say, like, an active lifestyle. And she said it in a nice way. She's like, you know, blah blah blah, working out and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing all that. If you're fat, I can't date you. I'll just put it blank. If you're fat, I can't date you. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. If I was short, yes, I've been told that you're too short. Like, if you're not 6 feet, I can't date you. That's fine. Or no, it's not. They don't say it down as, you know, if you're under 6 feet, you're not a real man or some shit. Then they put some shit up their ass that doesn't make any sense. Cool. I'm not 6 feet. I am 5'8", and I'm okay with it. But when I stand on top of my money, over 6 feet. And
besides that, if the average height for a male is 5'9", and you don't want anyone who's below 6 feet, you've excluded over half the male population.
And that's fine. I'm all for it. I'm okay.
That's cool.
And I'm cool with it.
But
just, I don't want to hear no complaining, though. I just don't want to hear no complaining. I just don't date fat chicks and women with children.
Anything that we have a standard about is us being phobic. But
yes, I'm afraid a fat bitch will fall on me.
But
that's my fear.
But when they have standards, it's accepted.
No, I don't care. Look, I am afraid of fat people. I'm afraid of a fat person falling on me. That's my fear. I'm afraid a fat person will fall on me. And that's what I'm afraid of. That's my phobia. I'm afraid of being crushed by a woman who is twice my size.
But again, like I stated before, I don't have any like sour experience with black women, dating them and stuff like that. My whole red pill thing, and I'm gonna do a separate video on that. My whole red pill thing was dealing with toxic black family. But as far as black women, I don't really have anything against them. Like, they're still cool with me. But
no, I still date them. I have no problem with black women. I don't like fat women.
But I'm gonna end this, guys.